Hi guys, welcome to our channel. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Over 25. By the time this is coming out, this is going to be I think the 4th episode of the month, or of the year rather. And as you can see, we have been joined by, like we called them last episode, some of Nairobi's most eligible bachelors. Hey. I will let them quickly introduce themselves. Let's start there.
Hey guys, my name is Elam Wenda. I'm a content creator, podcaster, and entrepreneur.
The British accent.
Many titles.
Own it.
My name is Oscar Kome. I'm a lawyer and a podcaster.
I'm George Ndirango, a consultant and an entrepreneur.
Okay guys, so being the month of love, I decided to send a question to you guys on stories, and what the question was is basically, we know hetero, whatever, not even hetero, just even same-sex relationships are difficult. And there's so many questions that as women, we've always wanted to ask guys, and we thought, why not take advantage of having these gorgeous, handsome men here with us.
Hey, that's a big match. That's a big match.
Is it? Oh, they're not gorgeous? Big one. Anyway, so we thought you guys could ask us questions that we could share with them, questions that you've always wanted to ask him, questions you've always wanted to ask that guy, like, why is this not happening? And let's see if we can fix it before Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
So I started with a poll and I asked guys, it's the month of love, so do you have a Valentine this year? And out of 7,000 people, 35% said yes, and 65% said no.
We are many.
Yeah. So don't worry.
Out of 7,000 people.
Yeah.
Statistics, bro.
So the specific question I asked was, what's a question you've always wanted to ask him or men, basically, about relationships? Let's just get into it, right? So the first one, you guys. Are you ready?
Yeah. You stay ready?
Sawa.
First of all, let's talk about how these ladies look on Saturday, boys. Before we even start this thing. We can't just blow over the fact that they look absolutely gorgeous. It's unfair. The camera is not doing them favors. In person,
Particularly beautiful.
the temperature in this room is high. Georgie, what do you think?
Hey, don't drag me. You do you, buddy.
Chico was saying earlier
Yeah.
that this is a public call out to any software developer out there. Chico was saying that an app needs to be created of Eli and Oscar, because to wake up in the morning with these compliments. You look good, you're great, you're beautiful, you can do this. Wow, you look like sunshine. Yes.
Okay, guys. First question. I'll start with Eli going the other way.
But then, Lona, are you going to say the names of the people? We will keep them anonymous. These are our followers, yeah?
Proper anonymous.
Okay.
I've just selected a few, and then what's going to happen is after we've asked a few, then each of us is going to ask, as over 25, a question to them, and then we can wrap that up. Yeah.
Okay.
So my first question, and you guys, your questions are so fantastic. I think I've gotten over 300 responses.
Oh, wow.
I've just packed them somewhere, so maybe one day we can revisit this, but let's just go. I picked the most intriguing.
All right.
Number 1, if tables were turned and you were a female, would you date the male version of who you are today?
That's a good one.
Damn.
These are movers.
Okay.
Save a lot on the haircut.
But then they'll start braiding, and that's a whole nother thing. Hello. Would I date the male version of the female version of me? Absolutely. I think, without blowing my own trumpet, the female version of me would have done the exact same self-work that the male version has done, therefore would make for a good partner. So I feel like, that aside, there's also the general characteristics of the person. I'm quite a soft person, so I think now a softer guy and you're dating a soft girl version, would be extremely loving. Yeah, soft, like your hands. So yeah, I think I definitely would date the female version of me. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
Oscar.
God. Jeez, that's such a tough question, man. I'm trying to see her in my mind. So if I ever met the female version of me, I think I'd be madly in love. Like absolutely madly.
Very narcissistic of all of us, no? I would love me.
I would love me, because I love me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I've spent time with me, so I'm just trying to see the female version of me, and I can admit that the female version of me is banging. She's introspective, she's insightful, she's wise, she's nurturing. She compliments people as often as she can, like Lonzi's top, and hey, who's talking? So yeah, I feel like the female version of me she'd be dope. But then I think she'd be very hard to get as well. And maybe I would give up because like her standards would be incredibly high and she'd know exactly what she wants.
Damn, even you don't want to.
That's funny.
Okay, Georgie.
Yeah, I think I'd be a great catch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's for one. But we would struggle because we'd have the same interests.
Yeah.
The same ego, the same everything. But you want someone who like tells you, not every day bachata and kizomba. Like let's go do breakdance. You know? Yeah. So I think I would be a great partner, but we'll have to do some work with finding different stuff to do.
Would you date the male versions of yourselves?
I'd probably be attracted to the male version of myself, but it would be a bit too creepy. And I don't think I would want to date somebody with the same like temperament as me, the same attachment style as me. I want somebody who will complement me. So I'll probably be very, very good friends with the male version of me. As a matter of fact, the men that I'm close to, that the relationships don't turn romantic, I feel like I see a lot of myself with them.
I love you, but as friends though.
Yeah.
Ivy?
No, I think the male version of me, I agree with Julia, because we're literally,
Babe,
we
we're
have the same personality.
It's like me dating you. Babe.
Yeah, we can't. We cannot.
Look at this guy. They're like, sorry? Sorry?
No, but the male version of me would make a very good business partner, because the male version of me, I think, would be even a bigger go-getter. So I think they'd be a very good business partner. But dating, no, I would not date the male version of me. Another female version of me, no. I still would not date that. I don't think
date another female version of me.
We're still the same temperament, babe. We're still the same. It's you're dating yourself. You see,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nah, bro, don't think about it. I saw you guys do it. I'm like, don't think about it. I tried, like, no.
I think right now I'm too light skinned for my liking because I like you're not your type. My husband is my type, so I'm too light skinned right now. Anyway, I don't think I would.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm too. Hey, the way I'm like so not emotional. Like as a guy, I would be so much worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would be a problem.
You'd be on a journey.
Yeah.
She would really be on a journey.
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't either. Just like Jules, I like the balance of being with somebody who's different from me. Even in my friendships, I'm attracted to people who are different from me.
Yeah,
because if I
date
now maybe because if I date the male version of me, we're just gonna sit in the house and never go anywhere in our introvertedness. We'd never know anybody. So now,
Okay.
question.
Next question. I'll start with Georgie.
Okay.
Is it really that hard to have platonic relationships with women?
No, I mean we have great relationships with the four of you. We have platonic relationships, right? Right?
yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Right. No, I mean it's very possible, but I mean some of those boundaries have to be marked at the beginning.
But do you have to tell yourself that there's a boundary, or it just comes naturally?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them, either of you says it. You say, hey, I mean, I like you, but As friends though. Yeah, or like when you have sleepovers, like you're on the couch and they're in the room, like it's you have to mark those very deliberately, or sometimes it just organically moves into that. Yeah. Or you can become soulmates. Yeah.
So you can be attracted to your friend, but it stops there.
Yeah.
Like you're attractive, but
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, of course, attraction is very physical, right? Yeah. Whatever I feel doesn't change how you look. Yeah.
Okay, Oscar?
One of the great developments of my life was when I determined that platonic relationships are more sustainable than romantic ones in my own life. Like, because when I met women when I was a bit emotionally immature, the first objective would be try to, you know, especially beautiful women. First objective would be, okay, let me meet them at a romantic place or naked, basically. Naked. But then when you spend time with women who are successful, or women who are more stable, or women who are going through their life at whatever level of life that they're going through it, you tend to develop an understanding of the female mind. And that has kind of assisted me to be able to kind of navigate life generally, because I can now meet women at their place, or exactly where they are, and see what they're seeing and have that empathy. Whereas before, because I didn't have many platonic relationships, every experience was new and shocking. Yeah, so for me, I think it's really, really important to have platonic relationships as a man, because it helps you kind of position yourself exactly where you should be, where you're okay, and it can be sustainable over time.
Have they given you this question before? Did you practice this question?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I'm good at this shit.
Platonic.
So I can only draw from experience, and then I can go to theory, right? So for me, my experience has been that it's never just started as platonic. There's also been something, like some sort, I always call it nonsense, that happened beforehand, and then you said, okay, no, there's actually more to this than what we thought in the beginning. So a few of my best friends are girls, but every single one of them, there's a story there. But it's so far removed from what we have now.
Like when you say story, you mean like a romantic-ish story, or
the
you
first
mean like
interaction initially, because they're from when I was younger and I wasn't mature, was that you're a very good-looking girl, I'm a very good-looking man. Sorry. And so yeah. So naturally we were like, okay, first interaction, we haven't got very deep. Maybe it's physical. Then after time goes on, you're like, okay, we're not compatible, but we appreciate each other in our lives. So now a few years later, we're now friends, and that is something we laugh about. But it's something I really do encourage. We had a conversation about this the other day. I think one of the best things you can bring into a relationship is experience from a platonic relationship, because a lot of the time guys don't have those honest interactions with women, so when they come into a proper relationship, they struggle to communicate.
And the key word, I think, is friend.
Friend,
because you can have a lot of acquaintances who are women or opposite sex. Those are not friends. I mean, you're single. He's single,
exactly.
And there's a friendship. That can be a bit of a challenge. But if you get past that initial, could there be, can we be, and you actually genuinely have a platonic friendship, there's so many things you can.
I have to mention, like, one of the closest friends in my life right now, she's considering starting a podcast on motherhood, and I have watched her go through the journey of, you know, finding a partner and settling down and getting a child. And for me, it's one of those things that has been so fulfilling, because now I can empathize with women who are going through motherhood and certain scenarios. And we had it also in a shoot recently with the great Ivy and Shiki on postpartum stress. And like, that's not something as men you'd find out among men. You see, you have to sit with women who are open-minded and willing to educate you, so you can get to that level.
I have two things to add. One is a question to Eli. Do you think having such solid relationships with women affects your romantic relationships with other women?
So I think, okay, again, it's only theoretical, because I haven't had a relationship with somebody since I had these friends. But the only thing I would do in that scenario is, I think it's how quickly you introduce them. Because I think if it's like, you've been meeting for a few weeks and you're in a social thing, you've met the friends, I think then there's less questions. But if you wait a long time to introduce you to this beautiful woman, it's like, okay, why did it take this long? Like, what were you waiting to sort of prove?
I had a housemate who was a lady. We never kissed, we never had intercourse, nothing. But when I dated, the ladies will come into the house and say, oh, so this is your housemate.
Yeah, even I'd be
It's a bit, So at some point, like, you could feel the discomfort, and then you're like, you have the conversation with your friend and say, like, but we would meet, like, they would show you, like, hey, I got a nipple piercing.
Same thing, yeah.
Like, randomly.
I cannot.
You're randomly on a call, right? Like, you're randomly on a call, like, very serious call. Okay, so how's life? It's a mortgage, just got a mortgage. But me, though, I got a nipple piercing. Yeah. So how's your family? You know? You know?
You didn't know what to be
random. But that was like, there's also something as too platonic. Is there something like that where someone knows nothing will ever happen between the two of you?
Are you sure that's how she felt?
Yeah. Are you sure that's what she felt?
She was
trust
okay
me.
with it.
It was a mental game, and she was chasing you down like prey.
It's been 3 years, 4 years now.
Yeah.
We've never had anything.
Because even girls, we know how to play. She's like platonic, but no, that's.
As a fellow interviewer, I can agree that it can be platonic.
I saw what you did there, sir. Are you proud of yourself?
I'm just saying, I'm in the same scenario. I can relate. I get that.
I personally have never.
I had a second thing, and I wanted. We're having a conversation with Georgie and the girls earlier, and I told him he needs to say this in front of the camera. What one of your mentors said about. Please.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So most of the time, so the first interaction with anyone you meet is very physical, right? So physically, you've already ticked the boxes, and it just needs one line or two from the person. So what my mentor told me, especially after my relationship, it was about 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, so they said, because I kept saying, I think I've met someone I really like. I think I've met someone I really like. When did you meet them? Last weekend. They told me, stop looking at everyone as a potential girlfriend or wife. Like, if you remove those goggles, you can just be friends with someone. But sometimes you see someone, the first interaction is, that's a catch. I need to pursue, but not everyone is to be pursued, you know? You're all like, you'd make beautiful babies. Yeah, you too would make great babies. You've heard that a lot, right?
Yep.
Oscar, you too? That was it. Stop looking at everyone as a potential wife or girlfriend.
That's a great start for anyone who's having that problem. Like, I think I like that.
Libras, please pay attention.
I feel like you have to give them.
I love you. Let's get married.
Oh God.
Yeah, I feel like you have to give the relationship an opportunity to mature, and the only way you can do that is by removing certain angles. You know, like, for example, if you're constantly putting yourself in romantic situations, it can get really dangerous. Yeah, because, like, you can imagine you're meeting an amazing, incredibly beautiful human being, and you can only meet them at the level of your lust or your needs. Yeah.
Okay.
Next question is it true they don't like staying at home because the woman is, in quotes, kisirani?
Kisirani, akona kisirani.
Is it true that men don't like staying at home because the woman is kisirani? Like, she's a problem. She's always
She's a
nagging.
nag.
She's nagging. Yeah, she's a
Is
nag.
it true that men don't stay home because women are nag?
Yeah.
How would they know?
Because you've been in long. Have you been in long?
Have they lived with
Because they're men. Maybe
Don't go through the corner.
basically. Sorry.
Ivy is on feeling things she doesn't want to feel.
My mother nags consistently.
I think that would be a question better suited for marriage.
That's what I'm like. How would these single guys know?
How would we?
No, you've been in relationships.
Maybe they
right?
You've lived with these women.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
That's what I'm saying. The question is, they don't like staying home.
No, but
have you lived with women
for like 2 weeks?
And you run away because of kisirani.
No, we didn't run away. I mean,
So I think, like, the question that was asked is actually living with a woman, not particularly your partner. And having lived with my mother and my sister, I've had extensive conversations about what you should be doing in a home environment, because typically the home environment is dictated by the woman, right? So to accommodate my mum's needs in my house, I know there's just a few boxes you need to tick, but if those boxes are not ticked, that's the, what's the word called? Kisirani, that you'll now find. I think it's actually very easy to make a home environment pleasant for a woman, but a lot of the time we miss out on the small things. Like, as guys. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so that's what I've learned, and I've seen the contrast. Sorry if my brother sees this. I've seen the contrast with me and my brother, who doesn't do those things, and he does want to leave the house and go and do stuff when we were growing up. But I've seen the contrast of that. I was just tick a few boxes. It's not that difficult.
Next question. Why do men, once they get you, stop going above and beyond like they do during courtship?
Oh.
Okay. Eli is laughing. Start there. Why are you laughing?
So, okay. So there's a thing about the chase that you can't not love, right? And sometimes when you get to the destination, it's like, okay, I'm done. And this has been a problem in my life. I enjoy the process, but maybe even we talked about this last episode, my process was not relationship, but I still enjoyed the chase of us being maybe like intimate or us having some sort of friendship, etc. So I think for me, sometimes it's just, the journey and the slight rejection making you work. And then when it happens, then it's a lot sometimes to take all of that person and then we sort of back down. It's been a problem for me, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's just the chase is, the chase is fun. The chase is fun.
The chase is fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
It's like you have a business and then the business works and then you're like, oh,
Like now what, right?
now what? But I think because we had this conversation as well with the person I was dating some time back, and it was, okay, so you did all these things before we dated, you know, like you did 1, 2, 3, you sent flowers 5 times a week, you know, and then when we were together, you're like, okay, so that led to this. Yeah. Now I'm here. How do you maintain the same? Exactly. I think it's human nature to not pursue after you've achieved caught. Like it's basically like it's human nature to not constantly pursue because the aim of pursuit is to capture, so to speak, right? Yeah. But once you get it, you have to switch now to something else. So you have other projects, or like you say, okay, so we're gonna switch maybe pursuit to like trying to find like something we love doing together, or like something we love, we want to learn how to do together, and then that becomes the challenge now. So you find a different challenge after your personal challenge is done. I don't think you can pursue forever as well. Also, it's sometimes very exhausting, even mentally, to constantly pursue something or someone. Like I mean, so I would say
I think the narrative as well that we get fed as guys in like films, in conversation, is about the pursuit. But the chat about after the pursuit is not much information there. So like there's a textbook for how to get girl, do this, do these things. But now, okay, you've got them. There's not many people that talk about the movie ends. There's the credits, so you're left there.
The movie always ends. Like, and then
the proposal.
The proposal and boom, and then done.
Done.
You get the girl and the movie's over.
The movie's over.
You need more movies for after you get the girl.
Proposal, right?
But why does it have to stop immediately after? Like there are times where I'm like, as soon as they say, will you be my girlfriend? And you say yes, like tomorrow my door is not being opened. And I'm like, dude, it's literally been 1 week.
Those don't change, like the opening and like whatever doesn't change.
I'll stop at the door and wait for it to be open. I think now you end up being the one who has to enforce some of these
things. You don't do this anymore.
But I mean, if someone listens to you, he'll know exactly the kind of things you like. So pursuit is not in... So it's not going to be pursuing you, it's going to be pursuing the things you love.
But I like what you said about you just need to think of what the new challenge is.
Maybe we've misunderstood because that's why I'm thinking. Maybe we've misunderstood the concept of pursuits and the idea behind it. Because for me, it's like you must constantly rediscover the person who you're with so that you can fall in love with them every day, again and again.
And you say he's not gonna be married first? Oh my god!
Like that's not me. That's just how I see it. Like, but like in the sense that because if it wasn't, bro, I'd be bored. Like because like in the sense that like one of the most beautiful things about being human beings and the human experience is the fact that people evolve every single day. Their life experiences put them in a place they were differently this morning than they were last afternoon. And like if you stay in touch with that person, then you're constantly seeing them grow and evolve in a place where they are sharing it with you. One of the big mistakes I think we make as men is like you try to lead her in this direction, when in essence, like especially after last season, I've learned that your job is not to redirect, it's rather to observe and support. And you just make sure that you keep telling me your story and let's work on that story together, because in the end, it will be something beautiful. That thing called happiness will happen to us in the end. Not now, not today, not tomorrow. So that's how I see pursuing. But that's my POV.
I have something to say on that. And maybe this is to Eli, who says he has a problem with it. Do you think in a sense you do have sort of like a scarcity mentality where you think the joy from knowing this woman or whatever ends at the chase, where you don't think that after that there's, as Oscar is putting it, there's more to know about it. And I say this in the sense that you say you may be ready to settle down, but again, that mentality is, are you really ready? Because I think maybe if you got a woman who, you've pursued her and then you like her, it's still a pursuit of your happiness with her. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe it's your mentality. Are you really ready? Because I mean, if you say, okay, now I'm bored, are you really ready? Because she's not boring. There's no way in 2, even 3, 4, 5 years you're even going to understand the essence of this woman.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe that, I don't know.
And everyday relationships, I think, are quite mundane. So it's up to us to be like, those flowers need to actually come more after.
I think it's not an extensive answer. The only thing that I found is my pursuits have not been, like the people I've met and pursued, it's not been for that long-term thing, because even before the pursuit, I've realized this is not what it's going to end up as. However, there is something we can still achieve together, but it's not long-term. So I just haven't met the person that even the start of the pursuit, my objective was to find out if it could be long-term.
I wonder how many boxes are on your list to check. I think we need to have a conversation after this.
2 A4
I wonder how many, like, what are the boxes that
Okay,
Eli, he said he's never.
On Man Talk, on Man Talk, when we were on Man Talk, I asked him, he was talking, we were all having a conversation, and I just turned to him and asked him, are you a perfectionist?
Yeah, like,
And he said yes, because he's very, but I'm not saying there's something wrong with that. You are where you are because of whatever. Life has brought you there. Even me, people always ask me, how are you single? You, how? What? What's the problem? You know, and it's like, man, if I knew.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
So I'm not, it's not a thing at now to investigate, but I'm just saying I think you're almost too clear on what you want, but I'm just, you.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
So I'm a perfectionist, but at the same time, there's a side of me that is a realist, because what I've seen, the thing is, you can only draw from what you've seen, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very blessed to have grown up in an extremely healthy household, and the vision of marriage and relationship, I have seen, like, I talk about it with them extensively, so I know what's required for a 40-year like marriage to succeed. So when those traits aren't exhibited from somebody that I'm meeting now, that's why the boxes are so long, because I've talked about it for such a long period of time, and I've seen like 2 people that love each other go through multiple challenges, and I know I'm going to have my own challenges. So if I'm going to go on this journey with that person, we need to be able to have what we need to get through that. So that's why it's a very small pool that fit that.
The more I talk to you, I really do think you're gonna find. I don't think you're really going to find what you're looking for.
Pray for me, guys.
The more I talk to you,
I still need to talk to Eli after this, man.
Why don't men want to marry nowadays? It's just vibes for over 5 years, no ring.
I don't understand the 5-year thing.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, I was speaking to some of my friends, like back home, no, back in the UK, home is here. Speaking to my friends who, they've been with their like partner for 6-7 years, and they've got a mortgage and they've got everything, but they're still not getting married. I'm like, what's going on? And so for me, I was like, dude, 6 months, 8 months, like,
Wait, maybe
I'm happy to.
maybe I misunderstood. Read that question again.
Why do guys go on?
Why don't men want to marry nowadays? It's just vibes for over 5 years, no ring.
Oh,
So they're not committing.
Dating some, because I'm hearing marrying someone for 5 years.
No. It's dating for 5 years.
Just dating.
So I don't understand.
I have no. I have seen that. If it's dating for a long time, my buddy's dated his chick for a considerable amount of time, and they have the most beautiful relationship, and they're still working towards getting married, and we can't wait for the day.
That's why the Kenyan system says if you're together this time, you're married.
No, but there's cohabitation. That's cohabitation. Wait. That's presumption of marriage, which is cohabitation.
There we go.
Yeah, which is.
Tell us from the lawyer's point of view.
Yes, it is actually from the lawyer's point of view. So it's what, 2? I think if you cohabit with someone for, I think it's 2 years.
2 years.
It's 2 years. So I think it's
You're
2 years.
considered legally married. Legally.
Yeah, I think
Legally
so.
partners.
I learned family law in law school. I think that was the thing.
The only thing I respect is someone that doesn't subscribe to the construct of marriage. There I can see, I'm like, yeah, cool, do your thing if you've agreed.
Yeah.
But if you haven't agreed that we're not going to get married, I don't see why you've gone that protracted.
Yeah, I agree. But there's also that danger of people placing their own definitions of marriage on a couple. Are they happy? That should be the question. Yeah. It shouldn't be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually. Oh my God, I've dated for 5 years. Nah, it should be. Are they happy? Are they okay together?
Oprah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Why are you going over here placing your definitions from whatever book or whatever life you believe? Yeah.
Projecting, yeah.
Shut up, mind your business.
Yeah.
Let people
So,
enjoy love.
So let me ask, so is it that earlier on in a relationship, people need to be clear on the fact that me, I'd like to get married, me, I wouldn't, because I think where this lady is probably coming from is
she's been dating this guy for too long.
she's been dating, and her expectation is that there's a ring at the end of this dating, but perhaps the guy maybe he's not ready. Maybe he's happy as he is, and he just
as a boyfriend.
I don't know.
My humble observation is that that's a question of value systems. It's a what is your value system? If your goal is to get married and to have a Christian marriage, and for it to look a certain way, and this person's goal is assimilated to that one, then you can put it that way. But some people definitely, and now that I've thought about it, some people seek absolutely no value in that. They see no value in, okay, we clap each other for one day and have this thing called a wedding. But then we are left with this thing called a marriage that we have to run till we die. So, you know, that's the question. So I don't know.
I want to flip that question back to Shiki, because Shiki, out of all of us, I think you've been in the longest relationship and you didn't get married after a year or two. So what would you advise this person? Maybe they're with someone who actually sees that as an end goal, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, because we dated for more than 5 years before we got engaged, for way more than 5 years. I don't think I had doubt that at the end of it there was a ring, but also I don't think I was fixated on I don't think I've ever been fixated on the institution that is marriage. I didn't quite see it as a goal. If anything, I think when I started to get a bit uncomfortable is basically because of that duration thing and other people. Just the fact that when someone asks, so how long have you guys been dating? And then you say 6 years and there's no ring, that was my discomfort. So I think I knew there'd be a ring at the end of it, and I was not too fixated, especially because as we met when we were young. Because right now
6 years was like from
we were just doing life. Like right now 2 years down the line, I would be like, bro, where's my ring?
That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
Okay. I like it. All right.
Okay, I think I'd like to move to over 25 questions. I'll be the last to ask.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now me, I have questions to ask this nigga. I'm always ready. Just hold on, let me get my passcode.
Hey. Change the posture.
Would you date a woman who does not have an income or a steady career?
Yes, but if
like a jobless woman.
Yeah.
She didn't have money, didn't have a job. She just wakes up and she's like, I don't know, I just want to figuring things out.
There has to be an extremely valid reason as to why. Like if you're just unemployed and it's just there's no potential, you've not tried, then absolutely not. However, if you've been unemployed for like 2 years, you had a very good job, this happened, there's like, it makes sense why you're in this situation, then fine. But it needs context.
Yeah.
Valid reason, and she has to also like portray like she's a go-getter. She wants to make something out of her life. So it can't just be she's unemployed and she no income and that's it. No. Valid within context for sure.
So not happy to keep a woman?
But I mean, you could keep a woman, yes, but she has to also have her own.
I mean generally, who does not want to work?
She doesn't want to.
She's not keen.
She's not keen. She's happy for the man to be the breadwinner, and
working is one thing, but like her mindset, like for her to extend. That's what we were saying. I can have 1 million shillings, right? Maybe you've come to the relationship with 0 shillings, but your mentality can make this 1 million be something else. But if it's 1 million and then when you come in, the 1 million goes lower, then there's you're killing me. Like you're killing me daily. You know, your mentality. If you don't have the cash or like the income or whatever, at least have something else that we can build. Yeah.
Copy paste.
My answer is simple. No.
Okay.
I agree. I wouldn't date. If I was a man, I probably wouldn't. Not in this economy. Yeah, that was mine. I have a couple more, but go ahead.
How early on after meeting a lady do you communicate your intentions, or do you see? No, scratch that. Not communicate your intentions. Do you know your intentions?
I love that.
I love it.
Very good question. Most of the time, you know exactly where this is going to go on day one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of the time it's day one, you know, I'm going to pursue or not pursue. And it's the tiny things. It's either physical or like you think or like even how they smell. Tiny things like that, right?
Not the first time we've heard about how women smell on this set.
Oh, trust me, you're
Because
like,
the other boys, I
I'm
think.
going to wake up to that daily. Wow. Bro. And it's from both sides, right? No, I mean like no.
The other boys
Yeah.
mentioned. So I think there's something.
There's some even hygiene. Like hygiene is for me. I'm big on hygiene. So like you know what I mean. But you can tell from day one. And then when you have a what you say about pH?
Maybe she doesn't smell on day one.
You had that, right?
I had that.
But anyway, but imagine if you
Day one.
Out here putting things on the periodic
no,
table.
but if you meet them outside a club or a night setting, and then you actually have a conversation devoid of music and alcohol, then you can really tell like where you're gonna go with this person. You can tell from the first 2-3 interactions. You can tell whether you're wasting each other's time or not.
Okay.
So you know, like this is someone I'm gonna fuck for 2 weeks. This is someone who I will probably eventually date.
You won't blow past that like it's calm language. Can you be respectful of the actions? I don't like that. Rosie, we don't like that here.
We don't like that.
We don't like that.
You answer the question.
Make love.
Okay,
Make
okay.
love.
Not all of it is making love. Our intercourse.
Balance.
Yeah. The pH has to be balanced.
Just slipped out his mouth.
Is someone gonna answer my question?
Kindly re-ask the question for Oscar.
You're like, so you know whether you're gonna.
Oh yeah, so you
someone
know,
after
yeah,
this.
you know, like you said, you know what is gonna happen with this babe.
No, your
And
intentions.
Your
They know,
intentions,
yes.
yeah. They said they will know the intention in like the first day of meeting. So
No,
is,
well,
is,
not exactly. Not exactly. Wait, no,
Yeah,
not
first
exactly like that. Sometimes you
First
really don't know.
interaction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes
okay.
you really don't know, but you can tell like where it's gonna go, like or some indication. Or sometimes it doesn't take the first interaction. It's like we met, nothing happened.
Yeah.
It takes like 1 or 2 interactions, or like you see each other on social media, and then you speak once, twice, thrice. You're like, okay, okay. The lady I dated before, we knew from day one. Okay. The chemistry was there from day one. Like we knew, but before there's been people who you didn't know that you wanted to date until after. You're like, oh, we have very similar interests.
Yeah.
What are you doing next week on? What are you doing in August?
December.
My sister has a wedding.
Where I'm having a purple wedding. Where purple.
So it depends. It depends.
Okay.
I'm in a very interesting point in my life. Very interesting, especially with the determination as to what exactly each woman in my life is, what role they're going to play. I mean, very interesting point, because most of the time, like when I'm used to going out and trying to persuade and pursue and getting the energy going this way, but now I'm in a place where there's energy coming back this way as well. So I have to analyze, okay, what does this energy translate to, and what do I want to do with it? In what position has this lady come to me, and what are her intentions with me, and what she wants to achieve with us? So like in that first day, when I hear the tone of her voice and the way she's talking, and there's an energy that you can usually kind of sense. This is going to that place for 2 weeks, or this is going to that place for 1 year, or this is someone I should keep as a friend, because sometimes I do a kindness and I do the thing where I can tell that in your life you're not exactly where you want to be.
Yeah.
So let me shelve this conversation and see where exactly you will take that where you will take yourself.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
like
true. You ever hang out with a lady and then you've brought her around the peoples and whatever, and you've hung out with your friends, and then the lady says to you, "This is the life I envision for myself."
Yeah. Oh. My God.
Number one.
Yeah, and then I've had that.
You were just.
I've had that.
See, right? You've had that before, right?
I've had that.
Yeah, I'm sure Eli has had that.
Yeah. So there's a certain energy. There's a certain energy that now I'm.
Exactly. Yeah,
there's a certain energy.
Like
Oh my days.
So Eli, please, having gone to the place of people envisioning their lives for themselves, do you mind?
This is so unfair.
There's context.
That's literally a direct. That's a quote. That's a quote.
Is it? I have no clue.
Georgie, I hate you. The question is, what's my stepping note? When do I know? My intentions with a lady. I'm not looking at Georgie. So I think the first thing is like, we can be theoretical, but like looks is the first thing to get you in the door, right? So my intention first when I see someone beautiful is let's find out more, right? So that'll be the first step. Cool, you're good looking. Then it's like, okay, now let's have a one-on-one, normally an activity. Then during that one, Georgie, during that like one-on-one, that's when like the kind of questions are asked to kind of gauge what kind of person this is. And then from that like one-on-one interaction, you can figure out if this is going to be, like I was saying before, like a potential for a long-term thing, or a potential for we can occupy this space in each other's life for a short period of time. But the first thing for me is like looks. That's the first thing. Yeah, that gets you in the door, and then we sort of find out afterwards.
Maximum like 3 interactions ish, and you kind of know
Two,
2
then have an
to
interaction.
3.
For me, it's very different. Like,
No more than 5.
yeah,
You
no
can tell.
more than
You
five.
can tell.
Yeah, you can tell what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm guessing as gentlemen in the limelight, it has affected, your dating pool and how you interact with women and how women interact with you. If so, let us know how that has changed since you came into the limelight, and what advice would you give women who are trying to date or who are dating men, like a musician who has a ton of followers or whatever. What advice would you give women like that?
I think the influencers on my left and right. I was
actually gonna suggest we talk about you transcending from one side to the other, and you've seen the contrast, so you're actually better equipped to talk about this. Also. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's very interesting. No, it's interesting. Genuinely.
Okay, I feel like this will haunt me, but I'll do it anyway. I think the thing that, and I will use the theory, and I keep telling you the theory. There are 2 sides of this mountain. There's the windward side and the leeward side. Yeah, And the day I realized I am moving towards the windward, where there is unfair things happening in this city, is when I went for this man's birthday. And like for the most of my life, like because I wasn't raised in Nairobi, like to get the attention of the pretty women and the ones who are engaging and the ones who are beautiful, like you'd had to show, like somehow in clubs there was this superficial show of, capability. So you buy bottles, you make a lot of noise, you're seen amongst the influencer table, things like those, like that guy. Yeah, there's a power that comes with that, and you find that people you really had to work really hard as a guy to get the attention of the incredible woman who you're looking at. But now I'm at that stage where, like, because kind of the work we've done and kind of the philosophy that we have, we are now beginning to attract a particular type of woman, and like she sees us and she's like, oh my god, wow. But then also at the same time, you're also attracting another type of woman because you have now achieved a certain level of access. So, like now the tickets used to be regular, but now you get a phone call from Saudi Soul, hey, not flossing. And then you're told, Baba, by there upstairs, there's a place for you guys, you can come and chill. And used to be on the other side, used to be on the other side. So the women who see that kind of begin to attribute a value to that, and their behavior really changes. Like I've really had to be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And it will be, but sometimes the way I handle it is like I just follow the lead of the guys who are used to that space, these 2 men, Rotimi and the others and the other people in that space, and shout out to every man I've interacted with in that space, where you don't necessarily, and Ivy always tells me to remain humble as well, like to just stay focused on yourself and to remember where you come from.
Because this is
all
fluff.
Yeah.
Me, I remember when being in the car with my mom, and then there's like a lady walking, and mom is like, Kai, is that so and so? When we were so young, this girl used to be the hot thing those days, and those things always used to scare me because I'm like, damn. Like she's just uko too, and I'm just like, mom just always tells me like, you have to always remember these are not this ain't it.
But
this ain't it.
Access, let me tell you that.
But I guess when you're in it, you don't realize, because like now you're saying this, and I'm like, wow. So people when we go out, they're like, oh.
But I think the experience is different between a man and a lady. Because you see, for us as men, like I've realized, like access is like a fragrance. It's like literally a fragrance. I remember, Eli, when your phone When your phone got stolen at a concert. Remember that?
Tough days.
And then we're walking through. Do you remember walking through the concert with security to look for his phone that was taken from him? And you just see, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And you just keep going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you did feel like what?
Michael Jackson.
Ah, yes. So, you know, like that, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Then, you know, you just keep going, oh my God, oh my God. And it was so crazy. And I'm like, what's going on here? Yeah.
Funny story. So we did some fashion stuff in Kenya before I went to Kigali. So there was always that, and coincidentally, the lady I was dating before I left was extremely attractive and like attracted some different kind of conversation as well, where people thought, okay, he likes this kind of person, right? So it wasn't, oh, he got money and then he got baddies, right? But, so I went to Kigali, 2012, 2013, I was just settling into Rwanda. So you have no time for relationships. Anyone you get is doing you a favor at the time. You're struggling, you're doing one, you can't bring much to the table. 2014, I transitioned to a new job and the job pays really well. I started dating, but it was a lady who didn't live in Rwanda, in Africa. But so that's why a lot of people ask, so you didn't date in Kigali? I'm like, I wish. At that time, I had a long distance relationship. But I could only do that, and we would travel and plan travels and meet in this country, because there was some amount of money that was coming in, right? So, like, a lot of people see that, like, okay, so you say fame and then you say money and whatever, but it really changes, even if it's not very conscious. It changes the people you hang around with, it changes the kind of chicks that you hang with, and it's you to be extremely conscious that this life is coming fast. The problem about that life is that once it comes and you get through the limelight, you can never go back. There's only one, like that's why they say the light at the end of the tunnel, because the light doesn't go off. Like you have to go, and once you're in the light, it stays on. You know what I mean? So that's so after that now it's up to you to say, like, you can't just come to everyone and say like, yo, you know me, I bag ladies, you know, like I mean, it's also, as you grow older, it's also a lot, it's very disrespectful. And then the ladies that you think you bag, they're like, no, that guy, no, he's a dick, like he's not used to this kind of, so nah, maybe not him, someone else. But it's up to you to like really consciously know that, first of all, you will attract almost everyone. You guys have seen your DMs, you've seen your messages, you've seen the TikToks you guys are trending in now. It's ladies, like 50 ladies post your videos in one day. And you can easily skim through and say, I want to date this one, or I want to reach out to this one. But you can't, because it's a professional capacity, you know? So it's up to you to be very conscious that these chicks will always be there. Otherwise, if you're swayed according to, when you reach this level, you attract a different kind of woman, you'll never sustain a relationship. Because there'll always be someone more beautiful, sexier, whatever, you know, better than yours. So so just allow it to be like normal. That's make it the norm. Like I mean, it comes with the territory.
I have an interesting relationship with like popularity and women, and I'll give context like you did. So back in secondary school, I became quote unquote the guy at a very young age, right? So I used to host things, I used to like sing, rap, perform, you know, I was doing a lot. And that kind of behavior when you're like 17 leads to you being a bit of a bleep, right? Like, and that happened very early. But in that kind of characteristics, I found that yes, I got a lot of ladies that were attracted to that, because when you're young, that's extremely attractive. 17, he's doing this, I love it, he's a bad boy,
Is that
right?
why you used to wear chains?
Yeah, chains.
And
I even
piercing.
texturized my hair, two earrings. I said, what's up?
What's up though?
We'll insert it. I'll send you. Jesus, this is going to be a whole Google Drive. So that happened very early on. So I did that, and I did sixth form. It was still carrying on. It was carrying on. Like there's even videos on me on YouTube, like jumping off stage and stuff. Right? I loved it. But I realized that all of these relationships, I was quite naive at the time, but I still was like, there's something missing here, but I'm going to just capitalize on this. Then I went to university, and I went to the same university as my best friend, who we used to host with. So we went to uni thinking we were the guys. So for the first freshers week, for the first month, they were like, yeah, we love these guys. Every party, they have to be there. Who's playing music? Eli's playing music. Like, it was always at our house, etc. Then after about a month, 2 months, they were like, okay, these guys are actually kind of annoying. Like, they always think that they're very annoying. They think they're the center of attention. They're kind of arrogant. And people started to be like, okay, we're a bit more mature than this. And I was like, guys, but it's me. Like, it's,
what's up?
So then I realized, okay, this doesn't actually fit. 'Cause I'm actually an introvert. But all this behavior was forcing me to be an extrovert, right? So I realized after, and obviously naturally getting older, that, okay, this is not sustainable. I'm not happy doing it. So my relationship with girls and like popularity changed then. So I changed back to who I used to be, which is a very controlled guy. I got a girlfriend, I settled down, I did self-development, and I took a few years to just do that. Fast forward, I come to Nairobi, I'm in that mindset, I was just grinding, like you wouldn't find me out anywhere. Came to Nairobi, did business, etc., etc. Then my social media grew, and now we're where we are now. So now for me, even if there's a popularity, there's a viral video, I've done that when I was 17. So I really don't care. Like it doesn't hold the same weight that it used to before. Yeah. So I'm glad.
Question. Okay, so would you rather meet someone who already knows the Eli, like knows, is it like a lady you meet off social media, or like would you rather meet someone who like asks you, I'm Patricia, you are? And you say I'm Eli. What would you rather?
There's one where it's like I have to be realistic because obviously I'm attracted to black women and specifically Kenyan women, so there's a high chance it's going to be a Kenyan lady. If I keep doing what I'm doing, there's going to be a low chance she won't know who I am because we intend to be very good at what we do, right? But then there's the other side. then there's the other side where I also want somebody that is unimpressed. I say this all the time. I don't want somebody that, regardless of what's happening, I don't want someone impressed by it to the fact that it blinds them from who I am. Because if you're impressed by this, when it goes and you're left with Eli who's unsuccessful, then what are we talking about? Yeah, so there's two sides to that coin for me.
Sometimes I think as a person, as a guy, you need to put yourself in an environment where you can learn from others, and you have to have that humility to learn from others and to observe, like, how are these people like interacting with women in their lives? Because if you allow it to get to your head, you'll get some really, really bad decisions that, wait for it, compound. Really negatively. So yeah.
This is the month of love, so this has had to be conversations around love, sex, relationships. And we couldn't have had it any other way. We're happy you guys have been open, you've been authentic, and you've allowed our audience to learn from men. Yeah, so asanteni sana. You guys, thank you so much for watching. As per usual, if it's your first time here, remember to subscribe to our channel over there, and remember to hit that notification bell so that every time we upload an episode, you get a little ping on your phone. Give this episode a thumbs up if you've liked it, and if you feel like this is an episode you want to share with a friend, hit that share button, share on all your groups, leave a comment, and we'll see you back here next time. Adios.
Bye.
Nice.
Over 25, subscribe.